Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas. This is pre-recorded, okay? I hope everyone had a really good Christmas morning. I hope you're having a really good breakfast and you're surrounded by people that you love, cherish, and adore. So let's see what my spiritual team wants us to talk about today. On this Christmas day, I'm hoping that it's a light a light subject. A couple of subjects have been pretty heavy, so I might peek at the cards, and if it's not a light subject, I'm not going to accept it, okay? Okay, we'll do this one. Everything is really so very all right. Yes, it is. I love this one. Everything is really so very all right. Yes, the Chariot just popped out. Thank you, spiritual team. Justice, lovely. Everything is really so very all right. The High Priestess, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm looking for one more card. Everything is really so very all right. Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for this beautiful card. All four cards are major arcana. Everything is really so very all right. And I have to say, of course they would be, because that quote is from Abraham Hicks. And I don't know if you watch her on YouTube, but she is absolutely fantastic. Everything is really so very all right. And of course, it would come out this way. Okay, so let's start off with the Chariot. Conquest, victory, external strength, self-control, right direction, put into action, momentum, breakthrough, and travel. The Chariot, yay. Everything is really so very all right. Yes. Why is that? I'm going to talk about that quote first, okay? Everything is really so very all right in your world. And why is that? That is because we're all on our own timeline. We're all going through our own cycles, learning what our soul needs to learn from, right? That's why Abraham Hicks says everything is really so very all right. We're all where we need to be on our own timeline, right? But if you want to get off that timeline, if you don't like it, and if you want to jump into another timeline, you can do that also, as many times as you need to or want to, right? So the Chariot, so the person that I'm reading for is in their chariot. Maybe they're traveling to be at their parents' house for Christmas, or their lover's house, or their girlfriend's house, or boyfriend's house, or family's house, it whatever fits your story, correct? Everything is really so very all right. You're having a breakthrough. You're going in the right direction. Yes. Everything is really so very all right. You're going in the right direction. You have external strength and self control. Yes, you do, right? A victory, a conquest. Everything is going in your life the way that you want it to, right? You're on you're on your way in your chariot, whatever your chariot is. I doubt it is to I doubt it is to what is it? Lions, right? But you never know. I shouldn't say I doubt it. It could be whatever chariot you have. And the next card is justice, integrity, equity, truth, legality. Don't jump to conclusions. Good karma, balance and harmony, justice. Yes, everything is really so very all right in your world. You have justice. You live in justice. You live in truth. You live in integrity. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? Integrity, like even if no one is watching, do the right thing, right? That's integrity, right? Even if no one is watching, do the right thing. Because who's watching? God, Lord Jesus Christ, your spiritual team, they're all watching. Your ancestors, everyone is watching in the spiritual realm. What you do every single second of every single day, they're all watching. How do you think you get karma? You know, they all decide if that was good karma, if that was bad karma, right? We live in a universe of feelings, right? We live in an energetic universe where it's all energy. You can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't even hear it, but it's energy, right? It's all around us. You're living in justice. You're living in your truth, in your integrity. Even if no one is watching, do it. No one, I want to say, person is watching. You know, do what you would have someone else do for you, because the spiritual realm is watching. Okay, always, 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 always watching. You live in your truth. You're not jumping to any conclusion, right? You live in balance and harmony and good karma. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Good karma. Everything is really so very all right. High priestess. Yes, you are the high priestess. You live in duality, unconscious, intuition, psychic energy, perceptivity, mysterious, the unrevealed future, spiritual teacher, right? Everything is really so very all right. Yes, 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 yes. High priestess, you live in your intuition, right? Your intuition is second nature to you. You know, like the saying, I can find my way like the back of my hand. Well, us high priestesses, we our intuition is like the back of our hand, right? If you want to say that in a human aspect of it, but our intuition is psychic, right? Always. The unrevealed future. Yes, the high priestess. We know what people's future is going to be, don't we? That's why we stay silent in a lot of cases. People are wondering, oh, why aren't you speaking up? Well, it's because I know what your future is going to be, dude. You know, I know what your future is going to be. And I'm just going to watch it play out, right? Yeah, for sure. So we are a spiritual teacher. You know, those who listen to us take heed, and those who don't, well, guess what? Bad karma, right? And so yeah, everything is really so very all right. Yes, is living as a high priestess. If you are a high priestess in the light, yes, everything is really so very all right. Wheel of Fortune is our final card. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful card. Also, karma, turning point, a turn for the better. Destiny always changes. Unpredictable. Good fortune and cycles. Yes, the wheel of fortune. Sometimes you're on the wheel on the top, sometimes you're on the bottom. But it always changes. It's a wheel. It goes round and round and round, always, every second of every day. Are you doing something good for people? You're on top of the wheel. Are you doing negative stuff? You're on the bottom of the wheel. Bad karma, good karma, bad karma, good karma, right? Every second of every day, the wheel in your life is changing, whether you can see it and sense it or whether you can't, right? It's always changing. Everything is really so very all right. And maybe you're on a timeline where you need to learn life lessons. You know, maybe you are. Maybe you're on a timeline where you're doing good for yourself, you're doing good for others, right? And you don't want to get off that timeline. You don't have to. You can milk that for as long as you want, right? For as long as you want to. Whatever your turning point is, it's totally up to you, right? A turn for the better. Destiny always changes. Yes, it does. Always changes, right? The better it gets, the better it gets. Another Abraham Hicks quote: the better it gets, the better it gets. You know, if you're up on the Wheel of Fortune, you don't think it can be any better, guess what? It can get better and better and better, right? Just better and better, right? Yeah. Unpredictable. Good fortune and cycles. We're all in cycles. All of us, every single one of us, even babies, every single person born on this earth is in a cycle. And that cycle is whatever you make it to be. Whatever you make it to be, right? Whatever you make it to be. Cycles. Yeah. Cycles. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune, whatever you want it to be. So, in conclusion, everything is really so very all right. Everything is, because we're all on our own timelines. We're all on our own timelines, on our own cycles. We're going through our lives, right? We're learning. We are learning, right? About everything. We're learning about ourselves. We're learning what our soul likes, what our soul doesn't like. We're learning what our soul needs to learn so it can rise to a higher state of consciousness, right? We're setting our soul up for success, right? So that in our next life, we know that we're going to be a success, right? Yeah. We're healing from our past karma. We're healing from our negative karma. We're healing from our shadow work. We are healing from our unhealed ego so that our ego is healthy, right? Yeah. So that we treat people with kindness instead of with, I want to say, superiority, right? Like, oh, I'm better than you are. No, that's an unhealthy ego, dude. Sorry. You know, that is an unhealthy ego to think like that. So we are, everything is really so very all right. We're all on our own timelines. We're all learning what we need to learn on these timelines that we're on, right? And whether you want to stay on that timeline, if you feel like you've learned enough, you want to jump into a different timeline, by all means, go for it, right? Go for it. You can do that as many times as you want to. So, with that said, Merry Christmas. I hope you loved this reading. I did. Thank you to Abraham Hicks for this quote. Everything is really so very all right. Thank you so much to my spiritual team, who, I want to say in honor of Abraham Hicks, drew 4 major arcana cards. You know, it couldn't be any other way, honestly. So, yes, thank you so much, Abraham. Thank you, Esther Hicks. Thank you to my spiritual team. Thank you so much to Divine Source Energy, all of my spiritual team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to you also. Thank you to you for listening and watching. Merry Christmas. Happy 2025. And I will catch you on the next one. Take care.